Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tuesday's Training Tips with Tuff. I'm excited to have you all here today as we delve into an important topic of making your house a home, helping your dog adjust to his new environment. Today we're going to explore the significance of environmental acclimation for rescue dogs and also just dogs that are new to your home, new puppies, and share some practical tips to ensure a smooth transition for your furry friend. My name is Christy May, and I'm the founder and CEO of Legend Acres and Legends Heroes, and I'm excited to talk with you today about environmental acclimation, also known as socialization, because this is one of my favorite topics. So first off, let's define environmental acclimation. And so it refers to the process of helping dogs adapt to their new surroundings, including household routines, noise sensitivity, and outdoor exploration, as well as introducing them to just the things that are going to be in their environment. The adjustment period is crucial for rescue dogs as it sets the foundation for a happy and healthy life in their new home. And so this is true whether it's a rescue dog, whether it's a brand new puppy that you're bringing into your house, or even just an older puppy or dog. All of these things are important, and we want to make sure that we hit on each of these things to set our dogs up for success. So I have some practical tips for environmental acclimation for you today, again, also known as socialization. And so let's go ahead and discuss some tips to facilitate this environmental acclimation for your new dog. The first thing is going to be establishing household routines. Dogs thrive on predictability, so try to establish a consistent daily schedule for feeding, walks, and playtime. The reason that this is important is because dogs do not have a good sense of time, even though it looks like they tell time. What dogs are good at is they are good at event stacking. So for example, this is why the routine is important. So if you come home from work and you feed your dog's dinner at 5 o'clock every day, but you come home at 4. So if you come home at 4, then you have a routine that you do. You do this when you come home, and then this, and then this, and then dinner, okay? And so how that works then is that at 5 o'clock, your dogs are looking at you going, okay, where's our dinner? Okay, well, it's not because it's 5 o'clock. It's because this happened, then this happened, then this happened. For example, if you only worked a half a day instead of coming home at 4, you came home at noon, what's going to happen at 1 o'clock? Your dogs are going to expect dinner because those series of events had occurred up to that time. So this is why establishing a routine for introducing a dog into your home is super important. The other thing is that routines change. And so we're going to be getting ready to go on to summer break for school. That means kids are going to be home. That means schedules and routines change. You have to give your dogs a couple of weeks to adjust to those new schedule changes too. And so just because you're starting a routine doesn't mean that's going to be that routine forever. So just being consistent when you make a change in a routine. Addressing noise sensitivity. Many dogs are sensitive to loud and unfamiliar noises. Create a calm environment by using white noise machines or providing a quiet space where your dog can retreat when needed. The other thing you want to do is you want to start slowly introducing them to the noises in your neighborhood. Sit in your backyard with your dog and talk about the noises that they're hearing. Oh, that's just the neighbor opening the garage door. That's just the neighbor doing whatever your neighbors are doing, whatever those noises are, and start naming them and showing that your response is that they're no big deal. They're nothing to be worried about. When I moved into the house that we're in now, my dogs went from having a 13-acre yard to being in town in a small backyard with the neighbors very close. Where we lived, we didn't have neighbors very close. And so they didn't hear the noises that neighbors made. And so I spent 2 weeks in the mornings drinking my coffee, hanging out with my dogs in the backyard, just talking about the things that they were experiencing and hearing and seeing for listening and smelling for the first time. And we'll get to the seeing part of that. But I took time with that. My dogs were older at the time, but they still needed time to change to those, to acclimate to those new environment that they were now in. Okay, so this is where the seeing and the smelling other part comes in. Encourage outdoor exploration. Allow your dog to explore the outdoor environment gradually, starting with short walks Okay, and making those areas familiar to them, and then gradually increasing to new sights and sounds. And so when I'm talking about going for a walk here, I'm not talking about an exercise walk like do. Okay, we're talking about a nose down sniffy walk. Okay, so we have called those sniffaries. What you want to do is you want to take your dog on a sniffing adventure. During this sniffing adventure, you are acclimating them to the normal smells in your neighborhood. They're also going to be able to associate those smells with the neighbors and those noises that they're hearing from inside the house, and then also from your backyard. So that nose down is very important. Dogs process the world through their nose. You have to give them time to process that world through their nose, so that way they can become successful in the environment that we're putting them in. So allow that sniffy time. Okay, structured walks and walking on a leash will come later. Follow their nose. Be the adult. Don't walk into oncoming traffic at the neighbor's pool, okay? But allow that nose down and sniff and let them explore your neighborhood, slowly increasing your distances. One of the things that I do here in our neighborhood is I let the dog sniffari, to our park, because at our park is our mailboxes. So it allows my dogs to actually meet all of my neighbors without me having to knock on my neighbor's door and say, hi, so we just moved in and my dogs need to learn you and your smells and your family. You don't need to do that. You just take them to where those people regularly have foot traffic and your dogs can meet everyone in your neighborhood. And so I like to do that as well as the playground, because our neighborhood has children. And some of your dogs have not had exposure to children, and especially young dogs. And so you want them to have good association with children. And so one way to expose them to that is to take them to the playground and let them smell on the playground equipment. Also, Hero and I like to slide down the slide. We have a double slide in our neighborhood. So you can also then just play from that point on as well. Then what we do is we do work on some obedience, kind of structured walk stuff home. But if they want to sniff home, really the walk is for them. The walk is not for me. That's not where I get my exercise. I exercise outside of my dog's time, because my walks are meant for my dogs, and that's how your walk should be structured also. It should be for your dog's enrichment. And then you're also not only giving them enrichment, but you're acclimating them to the environment, the neighborhood that they live in. Doing so is going to definitely set your dog up for success. The other thing about a sniffy walk is that a 10 to 15 minute sniffing walk, okay, equates mentally to your dog the same as a 45-minute run. And so you are going to have your dog is going to be mentally exhausted. And remember, you can always mentally exhaust a dog faster than you can physically exhaust a dog. So get those noses down outside, get that outdoor exploration, encourage it in your backyard, walk around with them and say, oh, what's this and what's this, and point stuff out and get that nose down and introduce them to things. Provide comfortable items in safe places. Make your dog feel at home by providing comfortable items such as blankets, toys, and cozy beds. And designate a safe place where your dog can retreat when feeling overwhelmed. We talked about this in creating our spaces. If a dog is feeling overwhelmed, people and kids and other pets don't follow them into this space. This is their own space. Dogs need their own bedroom, the same way as kids need their own bedroom. Now, I'm not saying you have to get another bedroom in your house. I'm saying that you need to create a space that's theirs that nobody else goes into. That can be the corner of a room. That can be a whole bedroom if you've got an extra room. That can be a crate in the living room. That could look like a pen, an area blocked off, or it can be underneath a desk. Dogs like to feel comfortable and not exposed. And so if you also are introducing a crate, I would cover it. If you're just introducing them to a new crate. Provide them a space where they feel safe and they can turn off and don't feel like they have to be aware of what's happening all around them constantly, because they're already in survival mode if they're coming out of a rescue or shelter situation. And so we want to be able to give them some reprieve from that. They don't need to be on alert all the time. Okay, then the other thing we're going to do is introduce items with positive reinforcement techniques. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the name game, the object game. And so what you're going to do is you are going to build some trust with your dog as well as build confidence when you name things. So very quickly, because we've been going on here, I'm going to just go through a couple of examples of how to do this. So I've got two items here. So I've got a pen and I've got a coaster, just because that's what's kind of hanging out right here. So what you want to do is you want to introduce your dog to everything. So I'm going to take this coaster and I'm going to hold it in my hand in a way that my dog can touch it. Okay, like touch my hand, not have to touch this thing. If I just hold it like this, your dog's not going to touch it. I'm going to say, Fido, coaster. And when Fido looks at this or touches my hand or touches this in any way, I'm going to set this down and I'm going to give a treat with this hand, that hand that was holding it, because this hand's going to do something different here in just a second. I'm going to do that 3 times. Fido, coaster, and a cookie, Fido, coaster, and a cookie, Fido, coaster, and a cookie. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to say, Fido, I'm going to pick up my new item and say, Fido, which one's the coaster? And Fidos may come sniff this, which is perfectly normal. Then they're going to come over to here and they're going to touch this. Okay? And you're going to give the reward with that. Then you're going to switch hands and say, Fido, coaster, and I'm looking for them to follow the coaster, not just to hit the hand that the cookie's been coming out of. I want them to pay attention to the object. So they're going to hit that coaster hand, and you're going to give the cookie with that hand. Then my last question is, which one's the pen? Okay, and they're going to choose the pen because it's not the coaster. Okay, and you're going to do this with handheld objects, and your homework is to name everything in your house. And I mean everything. You're going to stand in your kitchen, you're going to name paper towel, banana, apple, whatever you've got sitting on your counters, you're going to name absolutely everything. Okay, then, okay, this is small objects, only 5 in a set. Don't overwhelm your dog. You can do multiple sets a day, but no more than 5. What you're going to do for big objects is you're going to do a directed touch. You're going to place the cookie in your hand at the base of your pinky, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to roll these fingers down. So your cookie is here in your fist, and you have this finger, and then you're going to point to something. So you're going to do like chair. So you're going to touch the chair with your finger, and then you're going to let the dog either touch the chair or the finger, but I want them to touch the item. Okay, you're going to do that 3 times. Each time they touch this, you're going to then release the cookie. So Fido, chair, and a cookie, Fido, chair, and a cookie, Fido, chair, and a cookie. Okay, or if it's something that your dog can reach, you can set the cookie on it. So you can set the cookie on the chair and say Fido, chair, and have Fido eat off the chair. But your homework is to introduce everything that is in your dog's world. Noises, smells, sights, okay, and objects, so just things, okay? All right, so if you have any questions about environmental acclimation or socialization or any other training tips, feel free to go ahead and pop those into the comment sections, and I will do my best to give you some helpful tips and insights there. So in conclusion, okay, environmental acclimation is a crucial aspect of helping our dogs adjust to their new homes. By following these practical tips and providing a supportive environment, you can help your furry friend feel safe, secure, and happy in his new surroundings. Remember, patience and consistency are key. Okay, if you found today's sessions helpful, please consider sharing this video with your friends and family who may benefit from these tips. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more training tips and updates. Thank you all for joining me today for Tuesday's Training Tips with Tuff.